Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing tonight? My name is Indigo, and I'm going to be presenting you the Singapore Grand Prix for the 80-minute qualifier session and the 31-lap race we have ahead of us here tonight. What a fantastic circuit that's brought us some plenty of great action in its past history, and I can't wait to kickstart things here in qualifying. It was a wet qualifying in Division 3, which really spiced things up and put people in different places and out of place too. And Toby has also had some action here as well in Division 3. So I cannot wait to see what's going to happen here as all the drivers get ready to go to the circuit, as we'll see who has set the fastest time. I think the time you want to be aiming for here in Singapore is a 1:25 something. So let's see if those drivers can get in that range, as we can see the Ferrari popping out the pit lane. The gate volume is a bit loud, so apologies if you hear me talking a bit loud because I'm trying to speak over the engine. So the first one out of the circuit is Delano in the Aston Martin, a former Div 2 driver, and he's picked himself for multiple podiums and race wins as well, but finally gets promoted here into Division 1, and we'll see what the Irishman could do, because I also know him in a different leagues, I must say, and he has definitely showed us some good pace before as well. Not really been a regular contender for race wins or victories, but he's always there when it matters, and we'll see what the Aston Martin can deliver. Unfortunately, we don't have any championship standings here because Free4 hasn't updated them, so we haven't really got any classifications from the races before, but we can manage without that. Last week's race winner was Sweet Crowd, who put ahead of Pease by 2 seconds, as Sweet Crowd sustained damage in the early stages due to being in contact with, I think it was, Tonio at the time. Pease finished in second place in the McLaren with another great result. Duval finished in P3, 1,136 days since Duval's last podium in Division 1. He has scored podiums before in Division 2 last season and the season before, but the two-time champion of Season 2 and Season 3. After missing out in Season 1 championship because Sonif just beat him towards the end, but after that, it was Duval who claimed 2 championships, and then Ferg won in Season 4. Here comes Delano then, and makes his way across the line to start his first flying lap as we open up towards Turn 1 then, carrying the speed through 4th gear, riding the curve through Turn 3 as we head down towards the left-hander of Turn 3. Elsewhere the circuit, we've got other people on the track too. Everybody else is on the circuit except Nathan and Ali in the Ferrari, and Knowsley as well down in P18, who also unfortunately sustained some bad luck at the Australian Grand Prix when he retired and caused that safety car. Then he finished in 14th place as well, so the first 2 races for Knowsley hasn't really gone his way, so let's hope he can try and up his season, because he did well in Imola, but for some reason he dropped backwards. He overtook his teammate during the middle stint of the race, but didn't quite go well from there either, so let's hope things can turn around for the RB driver. And I know he has been struggling recently in the top divisions, not only in this league, but different leagues as well. He has struggled in the past, but he still keeps going, which what matters. Delano comes towards the end of the middle sector with a 2.7 as he makes his way out of turn number 13, where I think it was Lando Norris who almost crashed there as well during this year's race. It can catch people out of that corner. It can be a difficult one indeed, because myself, I've been caught out of it. It's just because of the lack of attention. If you don't pay too much attention, you will make mistakes. And I was leading the Grand Prix as Delano goes first in with a 27.1. I was leading, I think it was the Singapore Grand Prix, and I just crashed for no reason because I outburnt myself without paying attention. As Nelu Safu goes quickest with a 26.1, and I must say that's a blistering lap time, because in the practice sessions my best was a 26.5, so Nelly Safu has gone 4/10 quicker than what I managed to do as well. So currently I'll be P2, but obviously we've got a lot of people who still out there and need to stay a lot of time. Sweet Khan has invalidated in the first sector as he goes round at turn 7. Pyro pops into P3 with a 27.0, just 1/10 clear of Delano in P4. Tobes in P5 with a 28.4 ahead of Derry, who goes into P6 with a 28.8, so that's 4/10 slower. But Nelly Safu, once again, that man showing some blistering pace. Pease goes up to P2 now. 1/10 clear of Jeroen Vizza, who goes up into second place now. And what a good lap time again. Pease is a real contender for the championship as well, if things go his way, because I know Pease, Walter, Nelly Safu, Sieb, things have gone wrong this season for both of them. It's only 2 races in this season, but every single race counts. And plus, they had their own misfortunes in different ways, and unfortunately just not gone their way at all. But Sieb has definitely got some pace. As long as he can get it together, as long as he don't pick up any penalties or makes mistakes, he should be okay. But of course, it's a competitive league and things are about to happen. And Nelly Safu currently stays in P1 with a 26.1 there, 2/10 clear of Sieb. Unfortunately, Jochen van Kessel could not be here with me tonight, as he should be. He should be back soon, he promised, as Glowstick goes into P6 with a 27.0, a former Tier 3 driver himself and Tier 2. And in Tier 4, but finally makes it up to the big league in Tier 1 as Derry has rejoined the session. Relentless, there's 2 of them in there. That's going to confuse me. But anyways, Derry, OG and Dari, there we go. 2 different names, of course. But Glowstick in P6 just ahead of his teammate there. He did race at the Australian Grand Prix but missed Imola, as Nathan has retired in the pit lane because he wants to start on the back of the field. Ali goes up into P9 with a 27.6, and also he made contact with 3-4, didn't he, at the Imola Grand Prix, and that really cost him. We don't have, unfortunately, Cole Paradox is not here tonight, neither is Strauss, so 2 of the OG members of CRL are not here tonight, and they step aside for the Singapore Grand Prix. Whatever those 2 are doing, hopefully they're okay, but they should be back soon. Cole Paradox, who's in the Williams, and Strauss, who is in the McLaren. That's 3-4 currently occupies that seat. Duo heads back off in the pit lane as we're going to go on board with Sweet Crown in the Williams to see what the... Well, he's actually going to go to pit lane too, so Sweet Crown is in the pit lane there. So his lap time, unfortunately, doesn't have one, as Legende, who barely made it down to turn 2, as Miko has left the session, so a few people are struggling with their connection issues here tonight with crossplay on. But Legende, who scored a podium at the Australian Grand Prix on a high, then unfortunately in Imola, he crashed before he even got down towards the first corner. So Legende's race ended prematurely, and we'll see what he could do here tonight in Singapore, whether it be redemption for him or not. But what's a race that was in Australia, because there was about 3 or 4 safety cars, and thank God I had a co-commentator with me because I wasn't able to keep up with all the action with everything that happened. But Legende himself didn't have it plain sailing because Tony, him, and Miko made contact down at turn 11, which cost him all, but that safety car put Legende back into play, and ultimately got a podium with people around him picking up a 3-second penalty as Legende drifts through the corner at the exit of turn 14. There should be a DRS zone on that short straight, but unfortunately they haven't really implemented it onto this game. So it's a shame we don't have that added to this. But let me message a certain somebody, and we'll see if we could try get them in late notice. Legende goes for a lap time around here, the streets of Singapore, as he goes through turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. They will come at you thick and fast, and can be very difficult deal, especially with track limits and taking too much cover in the entry. I've dropped my phone, so that's not really ideal, but let me get my thing back up. Miko has joined the session as Legende goes towards the end of the first sector with a 26.2 as it updates. There we go. Let me call somebody who used to be in Division 1. I have got on mute, by the way, because I'm trying to call somebody. But Derry is on a lap time in the Williams. Let's see what he could do around here in Singapore. Legende goes towards turn 13 under the Anderson Bridge as we sweep through underneath the bridge with the DRS open, because it's so easy to lose traction through the heavy braking zone and the heavy traction zone too. We'll see in the race where people suffer with massive wheel spin, being in the dirty air with the cars in front of them. And now, here we are then, going towards, out of turn 13, towards turn 16 we go. Taking curves on the inside of both corners there. As we head towards the final 2 corners for Legende. As he'll cross the line very soon, it's going to be a 27.6, and it goes into P10. So that's a massive difference from P1 down to P10. Usually we've seen some close gaps here, but here in qualifying, Nelly Safu has currently got this in the back, with Yeru Visa, who goes up to P3 with a 26.4. Season 8, Yeru Visa won this Grand Prix because he started at the back of the field. I think because of wheel issues, then he made his way through. He got put in the wrong strategy, unfortunately. Well, the safety car came at the wrong time, but still managed to defend from the likes of Sweet Crown. And Isak Kush picked himself up a post-race penalty due to contact with Yeru. Then at turn 3, and what a fantastic victory that was for Yeru as well. For his 14th with the season, looking for his 15th here in Singapore if he can to do so. His last win was at season 10, the British GP for Yeru Visa. He won 2 races that season at the Japanese Grand Prix when ILT Leo was a competitor too around this league. Seeb is going for a lap time as we make our way towards the old Singapore thing, carrying through his 4th gear, and in its history as well, a lot of people hit the wall on the outside, including Kimi Raikkonen, and he crashed there back in 2008 with also, I think who was at the time? Was it Kamui Kobayashi who also crashed there as well? As we've got Steve coming towards the middle sector. He's 007 up in the middle sector, so not much time in that final sector there for Steve. But let's see, he has invalidated out of turn 14, just exceeding the white lines there. And you can be very precarious of how you take that as well, because it's so tempting. But Tony goes up into P2 with a 26.2, so that's some decent pace there from the Ferrari driver, who is behind a Williams driver. Is that Sweet Crown? No, it's not. It's Derry down in P17. But Derry has invalidated lap time, and unfortunately has to go for another lap time again. Here comes Sweet Crown, making his way towards the final 4 corners of this racetrack. And he makes his way out of turn 17 very nicely there. Let's see what Sweet Crown can do as he makes his way towards the final two corners. Sweet Crown is going to go into P6 in the Williams with a 26.7, 2/10 clear of Delano, but behind Jeroen Visser in P5. Peas, Jeroen and Sweet Crown all close together, and I remember those three sharing the podium back in Season 6 quite a lot. They were the main three people that finished the podium back in Season 6 and Season 7. And nobody else could get the podium, unless they had a bit of luck, of course. But whoever else got the podium was a guest. It was like the Valtteri Bottas, Hamilton, and Verstappen back in 2020, as Nelly Safu goes towards the top on the timing sheet again with a 25.9. That's a very handy lap time indeed from the Romania driver. And he's found a lot of pace, because ever since he's been in Cone, he has always struggled. In Season 8, when he was back in Kona Division 1, the last time he was in Div 1, he mostly finished outside the top 10 or picked up a DNF. He could barely scrape some points. His highest finish in Season 8 Division 1 was about 7th or 8th at the time. He could never be up there, in the McLaren as well. But he's really transformed things. He's really found a lot of pace in Season 11. And he could be the one to watch this season. He has been in the last 3 races, but not always had it way. Because I remember at the Imola Grand Prix, when him, Jeroen and Pease made contact on a turn 2, all went to the spin. And Safu broke his wing as well. But he's really found a lot of pace since then. He was a former Division 3 driver himself when he picked up a podium and a few wins. It's nice to see that Safu has got some pace. Duel is not on a lap time yet. Miko in the Alpine is going for not on a lap time either. Miko, who raced at the Australian Grand Prix but didn't appear at the, I think it was the Imola Grand Prix last week. You know what? I did a lot of preparation, but when it comes to commentating during the moment, that's when I forget things, because when it comes, I can remember things instantly when I'm not under pressure. But when I've got the spotlight on me, it is quite difficult to remember things. Like when you're doing a presentation in front of a classroom, you just forget. Then afterwards, you remember it. You remember what you're going to say, or remember what you want to say. But Pharrell goes up into P12 with a 27.4. And he looks very handy into the Australian Grand Prix, but there's too many safety cars came out, which predicted the race. So majority of drivers then are in the pit lane, just sitting patiently, waiting for the final minutes of qualifying to count down, and we'll see what laps will be set. 3 minutes left in this qualifier session. Tony is out pretty early, because we always know Tony, I say this every single time, Tony likes to come out early because he fuels the car for more than one lap, as he's one of those drivers that can't, not really good at hooking up laps, so he has a second chance whether he makes a mistake or he validates on his first lap on the next set of soft compound tyres. So that's the strategy he always goes for. It's the same as me, really, waiting for the later stages, and then he goes for a flyer lap. That didn't really make sense, really. What I wanted to say is, if he makes a mistake with his first lap, he's always got the second lap to do so, because he's got the time and the fuel to do it, as he's fueled the car for more than one lap. Look at him. Nice flow going towards turn 1 and turn 3. That was very nice there from Tony, as he makes his way down towards turn 5. Then in fourth gear, back in the power, to DRS wide open. He uses a bit of overtake too to power his way down towards turn 7. We reached the end of the first sector, and he's currently 1700 up in the first sector. He takes a lot of curb there on the outside too. Leads on the outside before we head into this right-hander we go. Drifting through third gear, back to the throttle once again before he approaches turn 9. Into third gear, back up into fourth. Then the back of the car looks like he's always wants to complain as well, as he gets under into turn 10 we go. The old Singapore sling carried through fourth gear as we dip down towards the right-hander of turn 11. Before we go under the bridge at turn 13, a difficult left-hander, because you arrive there with such great speed and having to brake at the same time as soon as you get on the Edison Bridge. We make our way down towards turn 14. Look at that, 10.5 up is Tony in the middle sector. Can he keep it nice and clean? Tony didn't race in 2023, but he raced, his last win was season 9. Or season 8, sorry, when he was challenging or winning the championship. His one and only win. He's had 11 podiums in his career in CRL. Here he is there, making his way towards the balance to corners he goes. Tony is coming across the line now. Can he take Paul away? He can't, but he's still in P2 with a 26.0. That's a very competitive lap time there from Tony. Glowstick is going to go in the pit lane then. So Tony unfortunately has invalidated his lap time. as he heads back in the pit lane. And qualified is done and dusted for him. Tobes is out there, currently down in P16 with a 27.8. Not on a flying lap just yet. 3-4 is on a lap as he makes his way towards the sharp right-hander of turn 8 before we head into turn 9. This mid-speed turn 9 corner. And now we head down towards turn 10. Is 3-4 up or down in the first sector? All the times we found in the middle sector can be very difficult, especially with the nature of the corners there. Overall, I do like this track. It can be a good race sometimes. Can be a boring one, but at the same time, this race has been known to have safety cars being thrown out. 3-4 is 8 turns up in the middle sector. He's looking to try and get himself inside the 27s, where Toby is currently down to P16, last in the 27s. Dory is on a lap time too with 33.1, so not competitive, as Knowsley has finally came out of the pit lane to do one lap only. One shot qualified there for Knowsley in P20, but here comes 3-4 now. Let's see what lap time he can set in McLaren as he makes his way towards the finish line. It's going to be into P13 with a 27.4 ahead of Miko, who's currently down at P14, going for a lap time, currently down in the first sector. He goes a bit deep, but nevertheless makes a corner. But Jeroen Visser unfortunately has broken his wing and invalidated the lap time, so no chance for pole for Jeroen Visser. Sieb, however, is 2 tenths up in the middle sector. Can he displace Denisa Fu to get on pole for the first time? As here he is, coming towards the penalty corners. Can Sieb do it as he makes his way towards the line? Is it pole? It's not. It's P3 for Sieb as he stays where he is for the time being. No change in position, but definitely improve his lap time. Pease is on a lap time. Sweetcard is on a lap time too. Following Pease down towards turn 7. I think Pease is just behind Sweetcard, as Walter has improved in the first sector by 0.2 of a second. We know Sweetcard likes to save his best until the last minute. Same with Pease as well. So here he is then. Nice line going through turn 9, carrying the speed as he makes his way down towards turn 10. Now breaking down through the gears into 4th gear as he halves the throttle there, going towards turn 11, turn 12 and turn 13. These slow speed corners. Charles Leclerc crashed there back in 2018 as Duval goes up into P9, AJ goes up into P10. They cross the line to complete their final flying laps as Sweetcard is 3 tenths up in Elizabeth sector. This could put him into P4 or P5, depends if he can find more time in this last sector as Sweetcard then powers his way down towards turn 16. We'll see what lap time it gives. Nathan starts at the back of the field. Pharrell and Sweetcard unfortunately has invalidated at turn 16, and that's a massive shame there, unfortunately, for the Williams driver. He will not improve. But where is Pease? Pease is currently out there somewhere, and let's have a look to see what he can do in the McLaren. He's 3 tenths down and will not improve on his lap time. Qualifying is sort of dusted. Nelly Safu is on pole, ahead of Pyro in P2, Siemens in P3 with Pease in P4. Third row goes towards Giroud, and Delano with a great qualifying there in P6. That's a fantastic qualifying there from the Aston Martin driver. Both Aston Martins doing well here in Tier 1 tonight, both in P6 and P7. Ahead of Sweetcard as well, so they'll be delighted with their qualifying performances. Duval and AJ right off the top 10 in P9 and P10, with Derry in P11, Legende in 12th place ahead of Miko, Dory in 14th ahead of Ali in the Ferrari. We'll move on to qualifying then. I'll take a short break before we move on to the race. But qualifying is done, and we'll see you all during the race. Sweetcard says, can we F off crossplay? Yeah, I do get it. It is so frustrating because I've had it before when I've been in a league with crossplay, and screen freeze is so annoying. Sometimes you can be on a really good lap and the screen freeze is just random and it just puts you off really. It's so annoying. I know how frustrating it can be, so I feel for Sweetcard on that one. I can agree with that one. Of course, a few people have moved over to PC, so that means the likes of Nelly Safu, KXI and Miko will be able to race, but a small sacrifice for a better outcome, I dare say. The formation lap is about to get underway then, so we'll see what tyres people have selected for, and I think it could be the mediums to hard strategy, and it is. So a few people have gone for the hard compound tyres. He revisited the alternate strategy Season 8, and it worked out for him despite being at a disadvantage due to the safety car. A 31 lap race around here, and we'll see how it goes. Steve Roll Gamer in P3 has gone for the hard compound tyres, and he's currently searching for his third win of the season. Nelly Safu is going for his second win in Division 1. He's had other wins elsewhere in Division 2 and Division 3, but the big one in Division 1 is what they all want to go for. So we'll see if Nelly Safu can extend the bar once again. He's done a fantastic job so far. I don't have the championship standards in front of me, so I can't really reach them out, but it's going to be a thrilling championship considering all the changes we've had all this season. Things are spicing up here in Division 1. And last time at the Season 10 Bahrain Grand Prix was a fantastic way to end Season 10, but it took a 10-month period to build up to Season 11 after ACC, the Mini League, the Cone Cup, and other things as well. But we're finally back in Season 11. It's been a long time. Hence why it's so hard to remember things, because I'm getting confused between seasons here. But Nathan JB was the last winner here in Singapore. I think it was back in Season 9 when he won the Singapore Grand Prix. ILT Phil was leading, but unfortunately got disqualified because he overtook the safety car, as Pease has been disqualified from the formation lap. But his tyres should be relatively warmed up, although it is quite difficult to warm up tyres around here on this game. Kenny scored his first. Kenny is not here today, unfortunately, in the house, but Kenny did score a podium here at the Singapore Grand Prix all those seasons ago. And Sweet Cloud finished in P3 with Indigo, me in 4th place, Leo Aries in 5th, and that was a long time ago. But here we are then, 20 drivers making their way on the grid, and we're set for a 31 lap race here in Singapore. We'll see what happens going down into turn 1. Can Lisa Fu maintain the lead, or will Tony be aggressive and try and get him into turn 1? Pyros had some good pace, but made a few mistakes along the way, but we'll see what will happen before the lights go out. Under the lights at the Marina Bay Circuit, first introduced in 2008, first night race in Formula 1, and here we are then, 3, 4, 5 lights. We are underway for the Singapore Grand Prix. It looks like Tony's got a good start initially. Here comes the McLaren of Pease. Up into P3 already. Great start from him as we head down towards turn 1. They all remain in formation. Sieb has been shuffled into P5 because those hard compound tyres aren't as warmed up as he wanted to be. So unfortunately, he's going to suffer in the early stages, and he dropped backwards into P5, but can still remain in this DRS trade. Sweet Car looking to take advantage. Look at the grip difference he has on the mini compound tyres. About to go wheel to wheel with Sieb as we head down towards the heavy breakers at turn 7. Sweet Crown is ahead for the corner. Steve has conceded the place already, not willing to fight too hard, as Darian Legende in the midfield are swapping places. There are a few cars off the road in the background. There's Miko, and here's the Sauber of Ali versus Farrell as they get so close for comfort in turn 7. Oh, look at that. Down the inside it goes, barges his way past, and now Sweet Crown inside of Jeroen Visser. Has Jeroen made a mistake? I am not sure, but they're inside of each other and ghosted as they continue racing as a ghost, and Jeroen wins that battle. They should be solid anytime soon once they detach themselves from each other, as the two Dutchmen who are big rivals here before. Jeroen Visser winning the championship in season 6, then Wouter win the championship after that, but they're still inside of each other are Jeroen and Sweet Crown as they continue racing as a ghost, as now we head towards turn 16 we go. Let's see who wins out of this battle, as Jeroen Visser as a ghost is looking to take advantage of Pease then. So can he make it through another solid car? Yes, he can. He's going wheel to wheel, but he goes off the truck almost, but keeps it within the wide lines to make sure he doesn't pick a penalty then. So Jeroen made a mistake. He stays in P4 and now puts the big pressure on Pease just in front of him with Pyro in P2. The DRS is enabled already, and Derry is side by side with AJ at turn 3, going wheel to wheel with the Haasman, who scored a podium back in Division 3 4 days ago, sorry, as the DRS is enabled then. So let's see what's going to happen down towards the breakers at turn 7. And Melissa Fu stays in front for the time being. Pyro P2 just sits patiently waiting to see if you can take advantage of him. Side by side with AJ Derry, they've broken the DRS already, have those two. So half the field has been split already on lap 2. And the Mercedes of Legende looking to go around the outside, but there's no room there. But does the under and over, and he takes 2 for 1. Legende sees these two squabbling, and he goes up into P10 like an Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso situation there, when those guys were squabbling, and they took advantage whilst those two were going side by side as we go down under the bridge towards 13. So Legende is up into P10 now, but the gap is 1.7 seconds away from Duval, so it'll be a very hard time catching up, especially when you've got guys behind. Puts the pressure on. Farrell thought for a moment he could get Miko down into turn 14, but just bailed out of it and stays behind him once again, looking to find a way past the RP driver, but just buying his time. So the Harverners, I'll see Glowstick and Delano, P6, 7 and 8. Delano is struggling to stay in the DRS range of his own teammate, so he'll be under pressure from Duval. Surely, as Jeroen Visser has already picked himself up a 3-second penalty in this race there. So not consistent in terms of track limits, and that's what cost him towards the end at this early stage in this race. Nathan and Darius swapping places there for P15 and a P16. 3-4 down in 19th place with Tobes down in last. And here we are then with the top 3 getting so close together. So Tony able to stay in DRS range of Nelly Safu, and Duval gets ahead of Delano as he puts himself up into P8 ahead of the Aston Martin driver. Can Duval get himself back in DRS range? The man that got on the podium last week at the Imola Grand Prix, but it can be quite difficult here in Singapore. Glowstick has dropped away also from the DRS range, so he's not able to catch up with the top 6 is Glowstick, but he'll have the advantage later on once those mini compound tyres. As Glowstick there has a massive moment out of turn 12, as you can see, messing up his lines as Pease has rised the back of Tony then, looking to take advantage. Those guys do not want Nelly Safu to pull away. All importantly in this first stint, trying to stay within the DRS range, making sure you stay with your rivals before we head on towards the second stint, and that's when those guys will start scrapping away. As Sweet Car's dropping out of the DRS range of Jeroen Visser, so I wonder if he's had a little mistake somewhere on the circuit. And Steve is right at the back of him too on the hard compound tyres, and we'll see how the strategy goes for those people in the hard compound tyres. It all depends, of course, if it's a straightforward race with no safety cars, of course, because safety cars can definitely change and mix up the strategies. As we exit turn 3, Farrell is finally ahead of Miko, puts himself into P13 as we watch the top 4 fight away for first place. I'm sure Sweet Crown can get in DRS range if the top 4 start fighting, going side by side into corners like turn 6 and turn 7. But here comes Pease right at the back of Tony, but not ready to make a move just yet, as he stays in P3, biding his time and waiting for the right opportunity to overtake him. And look at that, Nelly Safu, I don't think he made a mistake. It's a lag spike, and Tony is taking advantage of that lag spike issue he's had. So Tony now is not wheel to wheel because he's inside of him. They're inside of each other as we go down towards turn 11 and turn 12. Nelly Safu just inching forwards. Who gets the DRS? It is Tony, as they're finally a solid car. As Jeroen Visser has hit the back of Pease going down into turn 13 there. Sweet Car's getting more detached. He can't keep up with this battle as there's a yellow flag down there. Is that for Dari? I think it is down at P18, unfortunately. 3-4 the Tobes are pitted, so they're running their own race, but the top 4 are getting so pushed up here as we head on the third straight. No DRS on the straight, it's all down to slipstream. Here comes Jeroen then, taking advantage of the inside as Pease hangs around the outside and has the inside line for the next corner, which allows him to stay in front of him and has the advantage. So good defending there from Pease. Under big pressure from Jeroen, who is looking to try and get a move on, being fourth in the DRS train, wants to get himself further along. And now Sweet Khan is in the train again, so whatever mistake Sweet Khan had, looks like he could try and rectify it, has a second chance of this being in the DRS range, but only by 9/10 of a second now, so needs to find a bit more time if he wants to stick with the guys in the top 4. Further back at Glowstick, he's 3 seconds away, so he's been fully detached and broken away from this pack. He's running his own race down there in P7. Here's the Scotsman as we head down towards turn 7 we go. Has Jeroen Visser broken his end plate already? I think he has. I saw, yep, Jeroen Visser has broken his end plate. Explains the lack of downforce in some corners. I'm not quite sure where he broke it, but unfortunately the RP driver sustains damage here. Go for gold again, like he did in Season 8 when he won the Singapore Grand Prix. Started in 17th place. You can see a bit of a lag spike there from Jeroen Visser when you go on board with him. despite EA and Codemasters trying to work together to try and make crossplay work, it hasn't worked so far, fortunately, and it's a shame because it'd be nice to be on crossplay, be on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox all together without having any bugs or issues, but sometimes, well, nevertheless, they just can't get it sorted out, and it's just a massive shame that we can't see that it won't get fixed at all. There it was. 3-4 is ahead of Tobes. Battle for P19 going on between those two. And looks like 3-4's just beaten Tobes. Uvuvas gets another 3-second penalty as Nacho says, Dad duel for the win, says Nacho. Nacho, do you know who this is? It's Indigo back in the comments, mate. Nice to see you here on the Div 1. Nacho, when are you going to get into Div 1? Or when are you going to league race again? Because I know you're busy with university, so it's nice to see you league race con. Of course, the former Tier 5 driver, of course, won the championship ahead of Mark Wilson. Javoon slightly getting a bit attached there as he outbroke himself going down towards turn 7, but we know he's suffering with a bit of end play damage there. Sweetcon might find himself up the order as he sees a Alpine without a wing. As he moves over, so Uvuvas has moved over for Sweet Crown and Seed. I don't think he made a mistake there because it looked like a very odd mistake to me. As looks like Nathan and Ali are just swapping places there. So Sweet Crown now up to P4, Uvuvas in P6. Let's see what his strategy is now. But hopefully he doesn't give up in the early stages. Top 3 apiece, Pyro and Safu all remain in formation for the time being. As Nacho says, I don't have the game, both because I got bored of it and because the game is terrible. Here comes P side by side with Tony. There's a bit of contact there between those two, but they still remain wheel to wheel. Can they keep it nice and clean? Yes, they can. As P's muscles his way up to P2. And it looks like Tony has got a bit of full mid damage, so he's also broke his end plate, has Tony. I'm not quite sure where he's broke his end plate, but unfortunately that's why he's losing pace and time. And now P's has put himself into P2, going for his first win since the Bahrain Grand Prix. Is P's. That's his last win of the season too. His last win in CRL. So far, total P's has picked up numerous battle race wins. If I could get my stats up quickly, indeed. I'm sure I've done total P's stats because I must have done. Because I did P's, I did Sweet Crown, and I did Uvuvas. I call them the big 3 in the league. But for some reason, his stats not appearing as Duel goes up to P8. Ahead or behind now Delano, as those two going wheel to wheel. Delano puts himself back ahead of the RB that he lost the place to. Legende now is caught up to those two. Delano, Duel and Legende all in a scrap there for P8, whilst Glowstick is just inching forwards. In the background there's AJ there defending from the Red Bull driver. What's happened there between those two? I heard a smash against the wall, and it looks like P's made a mistake out of turn 13, and total P's has been dropped into P3. Nelly Safu, can he pull away from the guys behind? Peace has got 9 wins and 25 podiums. So that's Peace's win. That's Peace's performance there. So Peace is going for his 10th win of the season, or in his career in CRL. But it's going to be a bit difficult now because Nelly Safu is stretched away from Pyro and P2. The gap is 1.2 seconds, and I wonder how is Tony going to handle despite having a broken end plate. Still showing some good pace, but he won't have the downforce in the corners, which will allow Nelly Safu to just inch forwards and pull away. And when P's got past, he made a mistake down at turn 12 and turn 13, but luckily kept his wig. A few people scraping the wall out of turn 5 as we continue our way down towards turn 7 we go. Lap 8 as 31. So we might see some people in the medium compound tyres go for an early pit stop to try and do an undercut. And there's contacts in the background. Pyro and P's once again in a battle for P2. Pyro is deeper on the brakes later as he squirms on the corner. The more of these two fights, the better chance for Safu to pull away and extend that gap to over 1 second and have a comfortable buffer over the rest of the field there. But Pyro and Peas are now scrapping away intensely, which will allow Sweet Crown and Seeb to be involved in the battle as Uvuvas has retired, and this could be a safety car. Where has he retired? It's a VSC, and he's crashed where Russell crashed back in 2023. That's where George Russell Osama it into the wall. But Uvuvas now has retired from this race. It's a VSC. The safety car is not deployed, and that's his race done and dusted. And Jeroen was going for the win, unfortunately, trying to get another victory, his 15th win in CRL, but unfortunately it all ended when he broke his end plate. DRS is enabled because we get racing once again, so no people going for a cheap pit stop, as it didn't really last that long, as we get racing once again in green flag conditions, as a few people have a bit of a squirm out of the final corner there, which is Peas and Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown is back in this battle for P3 or P2. He was detached at the DRS trade, but ever since those mistakes, there's a few people in the background has made a mistake too. I wonder who that could be. 3-4, Miko has made a mistake, he's lost his wing, so into the pit lane he comes. I am surprised that wasn't a safety car because it was crashed in a dangerous location, but it's only a VSC. I've seen safety cars come out even when the incident hasn't been that big before, so that's strange how sometimes the safety cars work in this game. Legend Day is back ahead of Doable. Here comes the Red Bull of the inside of AJ. Those two have been squabbling, and AJ spun at the corner. He's lost traction, and he goes for a bit of a spin as he rejoins behind Nathan, his brother, and Alex Knowsley in 13th place there, but just stays in front of him for the time being. Derry is ahead of Freefall. I promise you, I will get the facts back, the statistics back, because I'm working so hard to get my don't clip that. I'm trying my hardest to get stats on everybody in this league, but unfortunately I don't have the time because I've got other leagues to commentate to, I've got work and I've got other commitments, so I don't really have stats on everybody. In fact, I have stats on the majority of drivers, but the vast majority hasn't really been updated due to me being busy, and I didn't think that Season 11 will start up again. But the top 5 then are back together. Pyro somehow has managed to get himself with the DRS range of Safu. So has Safu made a mistake because he's lost a lot of time? And Pyro all of a sudden looks feisty once again. So this is good for the leader of the Grand Prix. Safu finds himself under massive pressure. I wonder, has he broke his front wing? No, he hasn't. Remember, those two were fighting back in the Imola Grand Prix with Pyro and Safu. And here we are with the DRS Open. This could be a big opportunity for Tony for take the lead of the Grand Prix. DRS Open as he goes down towards turn 7. Mercedes defending the inside as Tony opts to stay behind him for the time being. I'm not going for the move just yet. And he goes off the track. Be very careful there with track limits as well, because Tony is lacking an end plate and he will not have the downforce in the slow speed corners to get the grip he needs to try and turn the car without any problems. His tyres will be hot. Tyres will be hot at this stage. A broken end plate with all medium compound tyres at a track like Singapore. It's just so difficult. I wonder how Sieve will do on P5, because the crossover point between the mediums and the hards should be starting to happen soon. So Sieve Roll Gamer should be quicker, theoretically, in comparison to his rivals in front. You can see him putting a big pressure as Sweet Crown there, just sliding out of turn 13, fighting for traction. Here comes Sieve now, but not going to go down the inside into 14, just waiting there. As the McLaren driver P is also starting to, you can see these guys are starting to struggle on these mini compound tyres, and see if this is a big chance now to overtake them and pounce on them, whilst the hard compound tyres are better at this stage of the Grand Prix. As the top 4 they're going through turn 16 and turn 17. Anybody looking for a pit stop? I think it might be a bit too early to go for the pits. I think these guys are just managing as Pease has spun out the final corner, unfortunately, and he is out of that battle. He's been split up and he rejoins down in P5. It's a massive shame there for Pease. We're down to 4 now in this battle for first. The medium compound tyres are definitely starting to suffer. The tyres might be overheating. The medium compound tyres, the older they get, the worse it gets as well. I know it's an obvious saying, but the hard compound tyres, the older they get, it doesn't get too bad, because the hard compound tyres are so durable. They don't slide around so much like the medium compound tyres do. When the mediums get old, they wear so quickly and they slide around and build up excess temperature, which you don't want to need either. But Pease, does he have the pace to get himself back in DRS range? We're about to find out. The gap is 1.8 seconds. He does have clear air, whilst these guys are stuck in dirty air. So maybe use the middle sector, the last sector, to his advantage whilst got the clean air. And look at Pease then. No, look at Steve, sorry. In turn 13, all over the back of the Red Bull driver, or the Williams driver. The last time we saw Sieve and Sweet Crown properly fight was back in Baku, when those two were going for the victory. And here is Sieve trying to go on the outside. He's so close to the wall there as Sweet Crown defends that one, but you can see him, look at him, struggling for traction out of turns 14 before we make our way down towards the heavy braking zone. Stellar defense there, too close for comfort against the wall. But look who's closing. Pease is closing in on these guys as well. So despite that spin, he's still catching up. Will Pease box to the undercut and go the hard compound tyres? The answer is no. He stays out there for one more lap. It's a bit of a stale race so far, with a bit of gaps opening up between the drivers, but the top four is definitely spicing up. If Pease can get involved too, that should be a good battle. As we exit turn 5 with the DRS open once again, Cansevo gave a try, get himself ahead of Sweet Crown. He's stuck behind these guys on the medium compound tyres, but he does not have the speed. Here he is there, down the inside in towards 7. Can he finally make a stick? There's a bit of a tap there, and Sweet Crown has to take a void action and go off the track. Look at Tony standing through the corners there. Good question is, will Tony, as you can see that Steve gets a much better exit out of turn 7, try to challenge with the Williams driver but can't get alongside him and overtake him as 3-4 picks up a 3-second time penalty. But Tony, when it comes to the pit stops, will he change his wing or will he keep it like this? Because if he changes his wing, he'll fall behind this train, including Pease, with the extra time he has to spend in the pit lane. But Sieb, he has to take advantage now while he has the chance. Try and get ahead of these guys if he can, but we know Sweet Crown is very good at defending. But if Sweet Crown drops out of DRS, that's Sieb's biggest chance to try and pounce on him and get towards the guys towards the top two, because he knows that Sieb will be in the medium compound tyres towards the latter stages. Here we are then, out of turn 16, and Tony is in the pit lane. Let's see, will he change his front wing? Will he sacrifice a bit more time in the pit lane to try and get the beneficial later on in the Grand Prix? And he does change his wing there, so there's a change of front wing there for Tony, as he'll lose even more time in the pit lane, but could be beneficial for the long run. So it's the first one to pit inside the top 10 to get rid of the medium compound tyres. Not really necessarily go for the undercut, but at least now with the brand new wing and new tyres, he can push hard again and see where will he end up. Legende is in the pit lane too. Steve hasn't really made much progress on the top two so far. I expected him to fly past those two, considering the medium compound tyres are just shot at this point. They're absolutely dead. They're just worn out. So I thought Steve will have a massive tyre advantage, massive offset in terms of the tyres, and dispatch him quickly, but not to do so at the time being. Glowstick is actually catching Pease, but we expect that because they're on different tyres, of course. So Glowstick's tyres will be better in comparison to Pease. But shout out to Glowstick, by the way, doing a fantastic, solid job in P5. He's on the DRS on the back of Pease. 3-4 and AJ scrapping away. Pyro's rejoining P15 with clear air, so he can use that clear air to his advantage and try and gain as much time as he can before these guys pit. But see, once again, stationary, stuck behind Sweet Crown. What Steve wants to do is get past Sweet Crown, get past Safu as quickly as he could, but unfortunately he's stepped behind because he knows he'll be in the medium compound tyres, will have a bit of a grip advantage within about the first few laps, then the offset will come back and the hard compound tyres will be better. So Steve needs a big advantage before he pits onto the medium compound tyres, before they start to wear off itself. But Pease has retired at the final corner, and this could be, it's a safety car! A safety car has been deployed, and as you can see, he's crashed at the pit lane entry, and he is out of the race there. This really throws a cat amongst the pitch. Oh no! Oh no! Have you... Oh, what's going... Okay. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a glitch there. Crossplay, doing crossplay, EA being EA, but anyways, I feel sorry for people like Steve, Glowstick, Delano looking to elongate their first stint. This is great news for Sweet Crown. He might get the jump on Nelly Safu and Tony. Tony is right behind Safu as well. The safety car has came out, and we'll see how this changes the trajectory of this Grand Prix. Sweet Crown should have a big advantage now, but worst possible timing for the safety car to come out for the hard compound tyres runners. Yes, those mediums will go towards the end, but once those mediums start to drop off, there's no coming back from there, and they'll be struggling since then. Whilst the safety car is out, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take a short break, and I'll be back with you very shortly. You know what? I just had an idea in my head. It's for those of you who, well, I don't know if many of you know, but there's a commentator called Ginger Rage, and for those who have been in the Sundays League, know of him. I know some people know who he is, and he's an absolute go-to commentator. I might bring him for Thursdays because I don't believe he's got anything going on Thursdays. I might ask Nosley if I could borrow him. Try and get him into this league on CRL because that will be a mega addition. Me and Ginger Rage have been trying to get to be partners for a long time in commentary, and it hasn't happened just yet after all these years, but it could happen. And I might bring him into Thursday League too, so we'll see how that goes. So Glowstick now is a P4 header pyro. We know Tony had to change his full wing in the first stop, which cost him a lot of time. Duel's up to P6. It's not really worked well for the people who's gone from harsh to mediums, aka Seeb in P2 and Glowstick. But I'll be back with you when the safety car is in, and we'll see some great racing action then from here. Toby points charge after safety car. Very good community of CRL is Toby. He's been in Division 3 before as well. So we'll see what he could do in the Haas in P18 there. AJ 16th place. Glowstick in 4th place. So I wonder how Nelly Safu is feeling right now because he's got Seeb in between himself and Sweet Crown. Nelly Safu has been heavily disadvantaged due to that safety car, but we know he's got the pace to chase after Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown has now got a track position ahead of Safu and Seeb. And Glowstick, what a great job he's done in P4 so far. Pyro will be annoyed in 5th place there. But at least he's changed his front wing. A few people might not be happy with that safety car course being in different places at the wrong time. I don't want to read that comment out, but the safety car is in at the end of this lap. We're almost halfway there. Sweet Crown is the leader of the Singapore Grand Prix. And we're about to go racing once again then, as they all wait and bunch up. Tony will be looking for a podium after being disadvantaged, but he did change his wing, so he should have the pace to keep up. But here we go, then we go racing for the second half of the race, and we'll see what happens in this second stage now, with people in different places. Alex was started in 20th, is now up to P10. He gets himself ahead of Legendi. What a great comeback drive for Alex in 10th place there, showing some tremendous pace. He is on the medium compound tyres, so he'll be quicker at this stage in comparison to Harvard. As Glowstick is right at the back there, no DRS on this lap, but will Glowstick try and fancy himself a podium tonight? Although it might be difficult because the people in the medium compound tyres right now, they might suffer towards in the Grand Prix, so watch out for that tyre drop off towards the end. It shouldn't be too big, but people will suffer. Here is Glowstick around the outside of turn 8. This is so close, they're almost in the wall together. And Glowstick, can he get himself into P3? He can. And here comes Tony with a better exit there. then a Mercedes driver, but then Safu covers him off and he stays in P4. The top two are left away. How is C going to play this out in P2, knowing he's limited compound tyres? Yes, the fastest tyre at this stage, but towards the end, his tyres may drop away. So let's see then when that tyre drop off does happen. And Ferg, what a legend in CRL. Season 4 champion of Ferg. An amazing drive. And Ferg, if you remember, a season ago, me and you raced around here with a great battle after the safety car. It's always nice to hear from you, Ferg. And I really hope one day you'll be racing once again, because you're an absolute legend, mate. And it's always nice to hear from you and talk to you whenever we can. DRS is enabled, so this is C's big chance to get past Sweet Crown. When he does, can he pull away? Can he put that gap over 1 second? Or will Sweet Crown deflect that and try and keep him in the DRS range? It's going to be quite difficult for CB, you know, towards the latter stages on limited compound tyres. Once his tyres do die out, will he have the pace to try and keep up with Sweet Crown? But Glowstick's in P3, that's a great job from him so far. Never had a podium in Division 1, has Glowstick, but here comes Steve now for the lead of the Grand Prix as he puts himself into first place. And Ferg says, yes, left my brake bias on 63 and you passed me nicely, hopefully involved soon. Yep, the Season 4 champion, because him and Duel had a scrap since Season 2 for the championship. Duel got the better of him twice until Ferg came back stronger in Season 4 and beat him. When I hear your name, Ferg, I just get flashbacks to the past. It's just like, it's just so amazing to like hear from people from like the old times in CRL. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. The OG times, I dare say. No DRS on the straight. I'm surprised that EA haven't really implemented that on this game. But DRS did get announced quite late during the Singapore Grand Prix. So that's why they haven't really updated it on this game yet. As ILT Bompia is in the chat, the man has scored 8 podiums but 0 wins just yet in CRL. And C has set the fast up the Grand Prix. Nacho, you're the same age as me, mate. And we got the same birthday. We have the same birthday and you're the same age as me. So you can't really call me an old man when you have the same birthday and age as me. And Bompia, hopefully you're doing alright, mate. Hopefully we get to see you on the grid again. Seeb is leading the way ahead of Sweet Crown in P2. Glowstick is in P3 ahead of Safu. Pyro has got himself a 3-second time penalty, so it might be quite difficult to try and get himself on the podium. You're definitely old, Jamie. Yeah, maybe, mate, maybe. My eyes, I can tell you what's old, my eyes, because my eyesight is absolutely shocking. Even with glasses on, I can barely see. You're a year younger, actually. Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. I am a year younger, but my eyes feel like they're very old. Look at C pulling away from Sweet Crown then, so got some good pace. He's actually broken the DRS away from Sweet Crown, but I think Sweet Crown will have DRS because he was in the detection point before they crossed the line, so gets the DRS on this lap. Nacho, learn how to spell donut correctly, mate, before you call me a donut. So here is Glowstick then, who's not been on the podium at all in Division 1. But currently so far doing a fantastic job. Wow. I thought someone messaged me then saying, am I single? But it was actually Capcom asking me that. But Pyro's right up back at Safu. So what's happened to Safu's pace? He's really dropped off. I'm surprised, you know, because Safu's pace on the hard compound tyres has not been good at all. He's really dropped away. It's the same scenario back at the Australian Grand Prix. Just doesn't have the pace on the hard compound tyres, but there's a tyre problem or not, I'm not quite sure. But Glowstick looking very feisty tonight. And here he is with the DRS open. Glowstick fancies himself being on the podium here tonight with 11 laps to go. Puts the pressure on Sweet Crown as he goes wheel to wheel as he puts himself up into second place. Here comes Pyro on Safu as he goes up into P4. This is a great scrap. Pyro get all wobbly out of turn 7 there, but remains on the track. Duval is up into P6 ahead of OG Derio. And here comes a Sauber of Nathan on the inside. Bit of contact made too as he bounced over the curb into the Aston Martin. Delano defending for dear life as he does. Stays up into P8 as Alex Knowlsley is looking to take advantage too as he started down in last place. And here comes Nathan daring up the inside, makes contact with him, but luckily not enough to put him in the wall there, so he stays up here. But Glowstick has got some outstanding pace here tonight in Division 1. I know he has been struggling in the last game in 2023, but what a job Glowstick is doing. His last win came at the Dutch GP. And I'm so glad that the Dutch GP Nacho, listen to me Nacho, I'm glad that the Dutch GP is going at the end of 2026. Finally, that boring circuit is gone. I'm sorry to all the Dutch people that offended there, but at the same time, I'm really glad that circuit's going. But here we are then. Oh, Glowstick up into the lead of the Grand Prix at turn 1. Glowstick takes the lead of the race. There's 10 laps left to go. But remember, the medium compound tyres drop off dramatically. So this is anybody's to win, including Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown might be in the best place to win the Grand Prix towards the latter stages with the grip of the hard compound tyres. So watch out for him. But what a race we're having so far. Unexpected players have been invited to this party. And Glowstick is up into P1 with Pyro and Safu catching up in the background. When are you losing your voice permanently? That don't make any sense there, Nacho. So speak English, mate. But here we are now coming towards turn 7. Sweet Crown is very, very methodical when it comes to overtaking. He knows when to overtake. He's been in these situations plenty of time, hence why he's a 32-time race winner here. Derry and Legenda going side by side. Up into turn 9 we go as he gets squeezed out there, but Legenda makes contact with him and pays the price. And Pharrell, unfortunately, pays the price too. But yeah, he's lost his end plate now. So Pharrell, long place, long time, and he'll be very frustrated with that one. Ali side by side with him now with the DRS. Here he is, alongside the Sauber driver. Tobes and Freefall are having a proper scrap, says Diddy. Yeah, Toby and Freefall down at 16th and 17th place, behind AJ and Ali. Here comes Sweet Crown now, rise to the back of Sieb. Glowstick's got some tremendous pace, but remember the tyre drop off towards the end of the Grand Prix. The hard compound tyres will be better, and that's when the likes of Sweet Crown will strike again. And look at this, Sieb almost side by side with Glowstick there, as he has a moment out of turn 3 to Glowstick. Maybe the pressure getting to him, but so far managed to handle the pressure well. But DRS is enabled then for the two of them behind. Sieb and Sweet Crown can get the rear wing open, and Sieb puts himself back into first place to lead the Grand Prix. Sieb is going for his first win in Division 1, it must be said, since, oh, that's so close there between. But Sweet Crown gets a better exit than Glowstick, and he puts himself up into P2 as Miko gets a 10-second tap penalty and retires in the pit lane. But Sieb is going for his first win since, I think it was season 6 at the Baku Grand Prix. And the last time Sieb was going for a win in Division 1, he was also fighting with Sweet Crown too. So Sieb going for his third win, finds Sweet Crown behind him with Glowstick and Pyro, who's caught up. Pyro and Safu have finally caught up. Seven laps left to go in this race. Definitely spiced up between those guys. Delano is right behind Derio as we make our way out of turn 14. Alex is doing a fantastic job in P10 as well on the midi compound tyres, looking very racy as Glowstick has been dropped out of the DRS. So despite some great pace, as Delano is almost alongside the Red Bull driver, but has to bail out there as there's no space on the inside. Glowstick has lost the performance in the Aston Martin, so maybe he used the tyre a bit too much in the early stages, and now he's lost pace towards Sweet Crown and Sieb. So this is Sweet Crown versus Sieb. The two Dutchmans go for the race win here in Singapore, but the advantage will go to Sweet Crown as his tyres will be better than Sieb's. Later on in the Grand Prix, Knowsley now gets himself ahead to Delano, puts himself up into P9, considering he started down in last place. He has done a mega job. Here we are. That's Pyro on the inside of Glowstick, puts himself up into P3. So whatever pace Glowstick had in the early stages, looks like he lost it there. Maybe taking too much life out of his tyres early doors and pushing too hard. Maybe those mini compound tyres, the older they get, the worse, and they might be starting to slide around with the tyres skyrocketing through the roof. Can Pyro now catch up towards Sieb? How is Sieb going to manage on these mini compound tyres? It's a real shame that the safety car came at the wrong time for those guys, but it's all part of the game, really. Some people will question about the safety car. Ideally or realistically, this is Sweet Crown's to win. I don't think has Sieb got the tools at his disposal to try and defend against Sweet Crown in the latter stages. Does he have the pace? Will the tyres drop off dramatically? Or can he hang on in there against Sweet Crown? Sweet Crown is going for his 33rd win in CRL. Sorry, 32nd win. And here comes Glowstick back down the inside of Pyro there, so puts himself back into P3. Remember, Glowstick is still fighting for his first podium in Division 1 as well, but Nelly Safu might have something to say about that. Williams should win in my can't even speak now. Thank you, Nacho, for cursing me, but Williams should win in my unbiased opinion. And here comes Pyro back up into P3 ahead of Glowstick. Nelly Safu is just waiting in the wings there. What has happened to Safu's pace? Because he had mega pace in the first stint, but on the second stint, he's just dropped away. So what is it with Safu not really doing well on the hardcore power tyres? We saw this back in the Australian Grand Prix when he dropped away. On the bridge through turn 13 we go. Sweet Crown just biding his time, not to go for any overtakes just yet. He has been in this situation before where he's been second place. Was there contact between Tony and Glowstick? He is a ghosted car, but gets going once again as Glowstick is having to watch for Safu, because that's the driver he's racing, is Nelly Safu. Needs to keep him in P5 if he can, if he wants to get his first podium in Division 1. Has been promoted up into Division 1 this season, after last season being in Division 3, sorry. As we make our way towards the finals 2 corners we go. Sieb under big pressure for Sweet Crown. He's already scored a podium this season as Sieb World Gamer, but he wants more. He knows he can challenge for the championship this season. He said it himself, he's going for the championship this season, but he has been unlucky in the last few races, it must be said, with contacts with other people and also bad luck. But once Steve gets things together, he is a real competitor. But the one driver you don't want behind you is this man in P2, Sweet Crown. Look in the background. There is Safu versus Glowstick as we head down towards turn 7. It's getting so close there. Wheel banging between those two. Going down towards turn 8. I think Nelly Safu has the grip to go around the outside and get into P4. He does. Can Glowstick do the classic switcheroo? I think his tyres are past their best and he no longer has the grip. It's a shame those guys have dropped off dramatically as well, because those tyres just drop off so easily, the mini compound tyres. The hards are very durable. When they get old, they don't stand around so much. They're a very nice tyre to be on, the hard compound tyres. But Glowstick's last win is Season 10, round number 11. The Dutch GP is when he last scored a podium and won a race. Clear PR finished in P4 that day as well, when Maz was in P5. With the last 6 or 7 laps in this Grand Prix, how is Sieb going to manage the pressure against Sweet Crown here? Pyro picked up a penalty like he did in the Imola Grand Prix, which cost him a podium on that day as well, as Sweet Crown with the DRS wide open on the back of Sieb. Nathan, who starts at the back of the field, rides to the back of the Red Bull as we head down towards turn 1. Here we go. Nathan going to go up the inside. It's a brave, optimistic move. Doesn't always end well there. We saw Danny Kvyat and Kimi Räikkönen crash in 2019 when Kvyat sent up the inside. But Sweet Crown then rides to the back of Sieb. Is this the moment he takes the lead? It is. And he puts himself into first place. But Sieb will have the DRS now. Can he stick behind Walter on those medium compound tyres? Does he have the grip? Does he have the pace to try and stick behind him and attack him later on in this Grand Prix? Nathan goes up into P6. It's been a fantastic drive. But he goes off the track, and here comes Duval, and here comes Derry OG back around the outside. If he has the grip, he can't do so. Almost gets shoved against the wall. And here comes Alex now around the outside, but has to bail out of it and stays in P9. It's been a great drive from the Sauber driver of Nathan so far, who got unlucky at the Australian Grand Prix because he pitted and he picked up front wing damage as well when he went to the pit stop, because they all slammed on the brakes and Nathan got damaged due to that. Never really recovered at the Australian Grand Prix or in Imola too, but here in Singapore, driving a better race, it must be said. Sieb though, unfortunately for him, is dropping away. His medium compound tyres must be finished now surely, and he can't cling on to the back of Sweet Crown. It's a massive shame there for Sieb, as he's been dropped out of the DRS range now. So this is Sweet Crown's race to win, and Sweet Crown is going for his 32nd win in his CRL career. He's going to match Fernando Alonso with the same wins here in CRL. A 3-time champion, 53 podiums, 1,554 points. Sweet Crown is a legend of CRL. Nelly Safu rides the back of Pyro again. Remember, these guys are fighting for a podium, but Safu then with the outside line going towards turn 7. Will he take away P3? But Tony's trying to hold on there, but he can't quite do so. Tony is hoping that Safu gets a 3-second time penalty as we go down towards turn 8. Safu has the inside line and stays ahead of the Argentinian in the Ferrari. Will we see Colapinto back on the grid for 2026, I wonder? I don't think for 2025, but will Franco Colapinto be back for any team in 2026? 5 new rookies for the Formula 1 season next year. We've got Franco... No, we haven't. Sorry about that. We've got Gabriel Bortoleto, the F2 champion, who won the F2 championship ahead of Isaac Hadjar, who did a fantastic race in the F2 sprint and the feature race, keep himself out of trouble to finish in P2 both times. Pepe Martini finished in P1. The head of Bortoleto. The Joshua Dirksen won in the F2 feature race ahead of Bortoleto, and it was Richard Verschoor who finished in P3, the Dutchman. 4 laps left to go to the Grand Prix, and Sieb's chances are slimming away for a race win now. There is no hope for him to get himself back into the lead of the Grand Prix. He must be so frustrated now, knowing that you'd be... Sorry about that, I put myself on mute by accident. But yeah, but it must be so frustrating for Steve knowing you'd be a big disadvantage later on the Grand Prix, knowing you'd be under pressure from probably the guys behind. But you got to do what you got to do, try and do your absolute best, and that's what he's done today. Steve has put on a fantastic challenge, and here comes Nathan now up the inside. Is it successful this time? Duval is off the track, and it is so tight goes that corner there. Nathan didn't really push him off, there was just barely in the space, but Derry OG gets super close to the wall, too close for comfort. Yellow flag's down there. That's a Haas of Tobes who spun. He's on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, so he's going to go for the fast lap of the Grand Prix. But probably pitted a bit too early to go to soft compound tyres. Probably should have waited later. He does not have the fastest lap so far, does Tobes, as Derry OG's retired. And it's a safety car. A safety car has been deployed in the final races, in the final laps of this Grand Prix. And this is going to spice things around now. Sweet Crown is staying out there. Sieb is pitting. Nelly Safu is pitting. Everybody's going to pit, you know. I think everybody's pitting. This could really spice things up. Has Sweet Crown just cost himself the race win by pitting? Here comes Nathan now. Also going to pit too. Everybody else might pit. Duval stays out there. Duval has decided to stay out there. This could be a mad dash all the way down, but everybody has decided to pit. As Duval stays out into P2. Sieb, where will he rejoin? How much time will he lose? He's rejoined down to P5, so there's 3 drivers in front of him. Legende, AJ and Duval. He has to dispatch AJ, Legende and Duval super quickly to try and attack Walter. This is going to throw the cat amongst the pitchers now with the safety car coming out this late to the Grand Prix. I cannot wait to see what happens. But Sieb has set the fast up the Grand Prix with a 28.9. Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats in the next upcoming laps. Anything could happen. Sweet Crown could still win this because I've seen scenarios in the past where people on newer tyres don't always get past people on older tyres. They get stuck behind them and they don't catch up towards the leader either. I've seen it before when I did it as well. I had the scenario where the safety car came out. I stayed out there. I was up into P2 at the time, and there was people behind me on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, and I held on to P3. So it's not always the case where the people on newer tyres have a bigger advantage. Hello, Cole Paradox. I hope you're doing well, mate. And I just updated your stats a few minutes ago. Safety car is in at the end of this lap. There is 2 laps left to go in this Grand Prix, and this could be a mad dash. Sieb, this is Sieb's big chance to win this Grand Prix. So the pendulum has swung back his way after being on the medium compound tyres. It's his turn now to try and win the Grand Prix. Can he do it? This could be redemption for Sieb. Firstly, there is 3 cars to get past. Then there's Sweet Crown in front of him. I'll tell you what, Sweet Crown, a safety car came out. I think it was a few... last season, a safety car came out. It was me on a brand new set of soft compound tyres against Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown was on old tyres. I was on new tyres. And unfortunately, for me, I could not overtake him. And I fell off the podium. But here we are then. This could be a tense times here towards the last stage of this Grand Prix. Sweet Card's gone. And watch out for Sieb in P5. Sieb is right at the back of AJ. Here he is. The first car to get past is AJ Wuhan as he goes wheel to wheel, going down into turn 1. One car dispatched already. Next target is Legende. Legende gets a 3-second penalty. Look at the speed he's carrying this too. As Nelly Safu is trying to follow through too. He wants the podium as well. Does Nelly Safu? Here he is, side by side with the Haas driver. Trying to go around the outside, there's no room there as he gets blocked off. Sieb has to be very aggressive. He's got to get his elbows out here to try and attack Walter. As we head down towards turn 7, it's another overtake here for Sieb as he goes down the inside. One more car left before he gets towards Sweet Crown. Nelly Safu is up into P5. The Haas gets swallowed down in the midfield there. AJ, oh, big contact there. Massive contact. The two Salvers, the Aston Martin as well. And they're all squabbling away for track position. This could get very messy indeed. There's 3 cars going wheel to wheel. There is cars everywhere. Legende has been overtaken by Safu. Here we are then, a multi-car scrap. Look at this car park. Absolute mess going down here. And there is going to be contacted for sure. Big contact going down. But Sieb is right at the back of Duval. Here he goes there, wheel to wheel. Look at this. Safu! Safu goes up into P3. As we go, oh, there's a clash between those two. And that has ended in tears right there and then. Sieb, once again, gets dismal look. I'm not quite sure how Nelly Safu caught up to Sieb there, considering he overtook Tony. As we head down towards turn 16 and turn 17 now, Sweet Crown may have been saved due to that crash. As we head down towards the final 2 corners we go, Nelly Safu gets a 3-second tablet. He goes off the track. He's got full weight damage as well. This could be Pyro back on the podium, or Glow Stick could be the podium too, down into P7. Here he is up the inside. It smashes the Sauber out of the way. The Sauber goes for the track, gets a 3-second tablet. I knew this was going to be chaotic. I just knew it. But out of all that, Sweet Crown did an amazing job to stay out of all the chaos. Staying out there, I told you staying out there was sometimes a good call. And here is Pyro, barges his way past Safu, almost puts him in the wall. I'm not really happy about this end in the Grand Prix because of all the contact that's going on between all these drivers here. Bit of a messy... sometimes a safety car can really spice things up towards the end, but sometimes safety cars can really bring out the worst in drivers, it must be said, because everybody gets aggressive, everybody knows there's a chance for a podium or win, and that's what happens when you throw... you get put in a lion's den. But out of all this though, Duval is still on the podium in P2. And he's done an excellent job in this race to stay in P2. Here comes Pyro, but Duval should not fight these guys. I think he needs to let these guys go because he knows they've got a penalty. So there's no point fighting too hard against these guys because that'll ruin the race. Here comes Sweet Crown. Out of all the chaos, he makes his way around the final 2 corners. And Sweet Crown, for the 32nd time in CRL, he wins the Singapore Grand Prix as Duval is on the podium. Knowsley! Alex is on the podium! Wow! Alex Knowsley is on the podium for the first time in Division 1. It's a double RB podium. Fantastic! He is on the podium. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness me. Alex Knowsley is on the podium for the first time in Division 1. What a fantastic race. Drive of the day. Both RBs are on the podium. Fantastic indeed. Great result for Knowsley, who has struggled in league racing recently, but he's on the podium. A few drivers will be absolutely annoyed. Look at that. P18 to P3. What a fantastic drive. Well, the two RBs definitely going to be happy with that result. They are both in the party, and it's going to be an absolute pleasure to speak to these two as well. We just go in the showroom to display the Ferrari car. Then we can get going with the podium interviews very shortly. So just sit tight, guys, and just wait for a few seconds before we head on to the podium interviews. For the second time in a row, I will be speaking to Duo after a great drive back in Imola and a great drive here as well, staying out there on the old hardcore bar tyres. A very chaotic end to the Grand Prix. But here we go then. We'll start with P3 upwards. Alex, mate. Wow, welcome back to the podium. What a chaotic race. You started down in P18. You only did the one lap in qualifying. So explain us what happened in qualifying. How come you did only did one lap?
I was in the bathroom busy, so yeah, couldn't get to the track in time. But yeah, a bit of a bad lap in the end. But it is what it is.
Were you doing a Troy A?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So you only had one lap, started P18. But what was your expectations heading to the race? Did you think that you could get inside the top 10 after all that?
To be honest, no, I was just trying to finish the race after the first two, of the season. I was just trying to avoid damage and getting taken out pretty much. So, yeah, just got lucky today, really. There was a lot of action all over the place.
And towards the end, did you have any idea that you'd be on the podium?
No, when I got past, I think there was some people on old tyres, and we got past them for P7, I think it was roughly. And I was in a battle with Glow Stick, I think it was, and then somehow got past him. I think there was all sorts of chaos somewhere around the middle part of the lap there. Got past him, and then was like, oh, I can see the two ahead of me have got penalties, so I was just trying to push on to just maximise what I could get. And yeah, when I crossed the line, it promoted me up to P3, so I'll take it. But I'm pretty sure somebody's going to have some penalties to take it away from me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, it's still a good result at the end of the day because it's your first podium since last season of the Austin Grand Prix in Division 2, and also your last podium. That was Duval's last win as well. So you're both on the podium together again, but as this time as teammates. And are you? No, you're not. I think I can answer this easily because I know Duval. But I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you in a pie with Duval, or do you communicate with him throughout the races?
No, I haven't been, to be fair. But like you said, I don't think he needs it, to be fair. He's just smashing it in the last two races anyway, well, including this one. So yeah, good to have a good teammate who can get some points for us, really.
Yeah, let's go.
And talk us through what happened in the Imola Grand Prix, because I know during the wet stage you were quite quick and you overtook your teammate, but you finished down in last place at the Imola Grand Prix, so just talk us through what happened there.
Basically just got damage from somebody just doing something stupid in front of me, basically, and then race was over from that. So yeah, that's literally all I was trying to avoid this race tonight, and luckily it happened. So yeah, I'll just have to hope that it happens next week as well.
Well, what a fantastic race for you today, Alex. And what was you feeling when you crossed the line? Because I bet you thought that you had no idea you'd be on the podium.
No, I didn't have a clue, to be fair, and yeah, I was very happy about that, obviously. But no, I'd probably expect some penalties to be removed, probably from some people. Who knows? So yeah, I'm not going to hold out hope for a podium, but I'll take it for now. And yeah, fair play to I don't even know who won, to be fair, but fair play to Will as well for the P2. And yeah, congrats to everyone who finished the race as well, because it was a bit of a messy one.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a massive one. But you kept out of trouble. You didn't pick up a 3-second penalty, which is crucial towards the end, as we both know in league racing. As a commentator and as a driver, we both know how much of an impact penalties can have on a race. So well done today, Lee. You did a fantastic job.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
I find it so weird how we both interview each other. Like you as a commentator, you interview me, then me as a commentator, I interview you. Then we both race together. So we do swap roles quite a lot.
Take it in turns, mate. From me to you, from you to me, mate. That's the way we go.
We speak professionally on podium interviews, but then we get angry on Sunday, don't we?
Yeah, I'll listen to you in the party chat in a minute. It'll be alright.
But yeah, well done today, Alex. Did a fantastic job, mate. I'll see you on Sunday as well.
Thanks very much, man.
For the final race of the season, Abu Dhabi. I can't wait. But anyways, we move on to the man in second place duo. second consecutive podium, kept it nice and clean, picked up no penalties, and watched the drama unfold behind you. And you stayed out there on the hard compound tyres. What was your expectations as well? Did you think that the guys behind would just jump you immediately once? Well, did you know that was going to make any chaos? Have you experienced before when late stage cars came out, and the best thing to do is just stay out there and see what happens?
When the safety car came on, I was just behind Nathan, and I was doing the opposite he was going to, and he pit, so I decided to stay on and pray for the best for the restart. Sib got quickly into P3, but I think he got killed by Nelu, I think. And then after it was just chaos behind me. I was looking more behind me than in front to just check what they were doing. And yeah, I think my setup helped me a bit because I was running a bit low on downforce on wings, so on straight I was a bit tough to overtake. So I think on the last lap that saved me to get P2 on track, because all the guy behind got penalty anyway. But yeah, quiet race, pretty quiet for me this race, but at the end, coming P2, I can't complain.
Well, yeah, watching the chaos in front of you, unfold in front of you, and Steve and Elisa Fu took each other out, and you managed to escape free. So I don't know how in the last two laps you managed to stay ahead of both of them, because the new sauce versus old hearts, I thought they'd get past you immediately. That's my prediction. I thought Steve would get past you, they get out to speed car, but he didn't, and you managed to avoid the chaos as well. Stay in P2, keep ahead of Pyro. Were you nervous about those guys behind Pyro and then he through towards the end? Or were you just confident?
I was confident. I trust Pyro. I trust Tony when he's behind me. I know he's not a silly guy who will send like an idiot. So I was expecting him to overtake me anyway because his tire was brand new and on soft, but yeah, I don't know why he didn't even try, but I'm taking it.
I think, well, even if he did try, you helped him. You helped your teammate because you kept Pyro behind. You kept Pyro behind in the base, so you actually helped your teammate do that without even knowing it.
Yeah, I was not aware that Noli was that close to a podium, so I'm glad I did it. I'm glad.
Well,
but yeah, that's a good result for the team. That's nice.
RB are having a strong start to the season so far. I know Knowlesley hasn't had the best times in CRL, his retirement at the Australian Grand Prix and also finishing P14, but you picking up the points in Australia and finishing the podium in Imola. RB are having a really strong start. Do you think you could be real competitors up there?
To be fair, I'm taking every race one by one and hoping for the best every time. On Australia, I just did a top 5, it was already good enough, and yeah, I'm trying my best, and for the moment it's just paying off, so I hope that will continue.
I hope you do as well, because two-time champion in Season 2 and Season 3 in the league, and it's nice to see you back in Division 1, scoring more podiums as well, 2 consecutive podiums here. How do you feel for the Monza Grand Prix, which is going to be next week?
Chaos again. And yeah, just hoping for the best again. I'm not sure about my pace on Monza, so we'll see.
Oh, thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much, Dubo, for joining me in the commentary box. And well done to you both today. You did a fantastic job, kept it out of trouble, especially when there's a lot of chaos behind you. You were there to pick up the pieces, and you certainly did today, both of you. So well done today, guys. Double RB podium.
Yeah, thank you.
We move on to the Monza Grand Prix next week for the Division 2 back at the Monza Grand Prix. On Monday, join me back and Glowstick for Division 2 next week. And Thursday, for me and Jochen Van Kessel, hopefully, for Division 1 next week on Monza as well. So see you all next week. I'll see you all later. Have a good night and take care. What a fantastic race this has been. Very chaotic, like I predicted when that safety car came out. And it could be one of the moments of the season, especially to headed down towards the Singapore Sling. Knowlesley, you were involved in that Singapore Sling fire. How did you feel going to that one?
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, I just had to send it and hope. To be fair, but I think from what I thought the guys ahead of me were on older tyres at least. So I just thought, and they were battling anyway. So I was like, well, I've got the grip to send it around the outside here. And to be fair, I did try and leave as much space as possible when I went through the right-hander part of the Singapore thing. I did try and stay as far to the right as I could. And yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that one then. But I don't think I made contact with anybody, or I didn't initiate it anyway, at least. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well done today, guys, and yeah, join us back for the Monza Grand Prix. That could be another chaotic one indeed. And it was definitely a chaotic one in Tier 3 last season with ILT Crack, Indy Jesus, and Rapid when they all made contact, the championship leaders. And it could be another chaotic one indeed in Division 1. I'll see you all later. Have a good night.